Hello creatives! In this video, I'll share with you lessons from Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, on how to get rich and create sustainable wealth. Ever wondered what the secret is to becoming rich? Then you have to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a New York Times bestseller by Robert Kiyosaki. The financial book is believed to have sold at least 32 million copies since its publishing in 2002. Well, it must take some priceless financial advice to sell that wide, given that our generation doesn't read a lot. I decided to inquire what makes this book tick, and what better way to do that than read it. So I'll share with you some life-changing lessons I've picked from the book that answers our question. How to get rich. Number 6 and 7 are my all-time favorite. But before then, if you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel and continue receiving great videos like this one. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can get informed every time I publish a new video. First, let's understand the Rich Dad and Poor Dad mindset as depicted by Robert Kiyosaki. The Poor Dad mindset. In the allegorical story, the Poor Dad happens to be Robert's biological father, a celebrated college professor. The dad encourages young Robert to work hard and get good grades to land a well-paying job. In real life, having a poor dad mindset is when you believe in working for money and not vice versa. According to Robert, poor dads of today are more comfortable having a single salary job. They would rather stick to a job they don't like as long as it pays the bills. The Rich Dad mindset. In a fictional story, the rich dad happens to be a dad to Robert's friend, a wealthy entrepreneur. The rich dad also advises Robert to make it big, but he has a different approach. He encourages him to get a job and learn what it takes to become an entrepreneur and not stay employed forever. According to the rich dad, true wealth comes from having multiple income sources. While poor dad encourages Robert to work hard and ascend the business ladder, the rich dad challenges him to own the ladder. In real life, having a rich dad mindset means being focused on money making and not being comfortable with just one income stream, especially if it's a 9-to-5 job. The takeaways. So what are the key lessons from Robert's Rich Dad, Poor Dad allegory? Well, here are 7 important ones that I think could help you get rich someday. 1. Invest in assets, not liabilities. According to Kiyosaki, rich people buy luxuries last, while poor people buy them first. The biggest problem with most people is that they don't know how to differentiate assets from liabilities, so they end up acquiring the latter thinking that they're getting the former. Let's define the two terms for a start. An asset is something that puts money into the pocket, while a liability does the opposite. A rental unit, for example, is an asset, while an expensive car is a liability. In the Rich Dad Poor Dad story, the rich dad acquires assets while the poor dad only has expenses. If the liabilities are more than the assets, then the end product is bankruptcy and poverty. Hence, you have to monitor your cash flow. You have to know how much money is coming in and how much is going out. The takeaway: no matter how much you make, it doesn't count for anything if you spend all of it. 2. You have to become financially literate from experience. In the story, the poor dad believes that putting extra effort in class and getting good grades is the only way to have a better financial future, as you can get a good job somewhere. The rich dad has a contrary opinion, however. He believes that working for someone cannot make one rich. Instead, you should figure out how to create money, and at one point, make money work for you. According to the rich dad, one must master financial concepts like accounting, marketing, and investing. Another thing that Kiyosaki paints out clearly in the book is the correlation between ignorance and failure. The opposite is literacy and success, and that's what he advocates for. The takeaway: the more you learn something new about money, the better an entrepreneur or investor you'll become. 3. Fear is a stumbling block to financial freedom. According to Kiyosaki, most people fail to succeed financially for fear of taking risks. In his book, The Poor Dad only plays safe and doesn't take chances. The perception sadly proves costly in the long term. I like the rich dad's perception here. It's not the smartest who gets ahead in life, but the boldest. So inasmuch as it's smart to be calculative, you cannot get rich without taking risks. Working as a company for a manager may pay your bills, but it makes you a slave for the money. That's what Robert advises against. You can only learn and make better financial decisions from mistakes. Besides, it doesn't mean that you fail at every risk that you take. According to Kiyosaki, if you have failed, that means that you're doing something. If you're doing something, then you have a chance. The takeaway: learn to overcome your fears and take risks if they're worth it. Number 4. Always stay focused. According to Robert, focus stands for follow one course until successful. Upon setting a financial goal, you should remain focused on realizing it. If your goal is to create wealth, you should identify practical ways to achieve it. It may mean getting assets from the little income you have and investing the returns to grow them. There are likely to be setbacks, which may delay you from achieving your financial goal. They should, however, not stop you from reaching your goals. The takeaway: know what your financial goals are and stay on course to achieve them. Number 5. Be willing to embrace opportunities. Opportunities don't knock often, so when they do, you better embrace them. The poor dad in the story forbids his son from entertaining thoughts of things he can't afford. The rich dad, in contrast, advises him to think about how he can afford them. So while the poor dad shuts the doors of possibilities, the rich dad opens them up. When you think of how to do something difficult, you force your brain to find answers. You have to teach your mind to see possibilities and problems. Additionally, you have to find a way to improve your current financial position. Simply put, you cannot just be okay with what you're making now, as no one knows about the future. The takeaway: seize the opportunity that comes your way, and as Kiyosaki would say, inside of every problem lays an opportunity. 6. Let money work for you and not the other way around. One thing is apparent between the two dads. The poor dad only thinks about getting the best grades to land the region's best job. According to Kiyosaki, that translates into financial slavery. You become too engrossed with working on getting money when the reverse should be happening. That brings us to the rich dad. He believes that the only way to get rich is to have control over your money. You have to buy assets that bring in money and make investments to become rich. In that case, the money will be working for you and not the other way around. The takeaway: you have to find a way to earn passive income. Whether it's to own a rental space, engage in affiliate marketing, or buy dividend-paying stocks, make it happen. That will allow you to make money without having to move from your couch. His famous quote, "Don't work for money, make it work for you," agrees with that. Number 7. Pay yourself first. When the two dads receive their pay, their approaches are different. The poor dad pays off his bills and then lives off whatever remains. The rich dad, in contrast, first pays himself and then uses the remaining money to pay for his expenses. Most people would see the poor dad to be the smarter of the two, but that's not how Kiyosaki sees it. The advantage of paying yourself first is to appreciate yourself for the work you've put in to earn the money. Once you do so, it becomes easier to double your effort so that you can pay yourself more next time. Before you know it, you'll be buying assets and investing widely with that money you pay yourself. The takeaway: self-rewarding is a crucial strategy for creating more income streams. The more you create, the easier it is to enjoy a balanced financial profile. In conclusion, with Robert Kiyosaki estimated to be worth $100 million, he is irrefutably rich. So he understands what it takes to be rich, and nothing explains the secrets better than his record-selling book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I know this video was exciting and you loved it. Check out these other interesting videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, you're definitely missing out. See you in the next one.